today we're going to do a little bit of seated work with a strap and a block. And to start, can I sit so you can see me? I want you to sit and just reach your heels straight out in front of you. So the first thing I want you to notice is how it feels in the backs of your legs to be seated in this position. Does it feel like your legs would be way more comfortable if you could just give them a little bit of a bend? And alternately start to feel your back. Does it feel like this low part just is caved downward and it's a lot of effort to be able to sit tall? If either of those things feel like they're happening in your body, then giving yourself just a skinny block underneath your bum can be your answer. Because then instead of your body being at 90 degrees, it's at 93. And sometimes that 93 degrees is just more in line with how we spend our day in chairs and cars and couches. So that 90 degrees just gives our body a little bit more leeway than we might have had if we were trying to sit tall. Wrap your strap around the soles of your feet. And then sit tall. So reach your hands as low down that strap as they will go. And then slide your spine upright and drop your shoulders down your back. Allow yourself to just push down through the heels. Feel the sit bones ground into the prop underneath you or the floor. And then this length up the side body. You can feel your breath just traveling up and down your spine, and it feels like there's this string pulling from the crown of your head, lengthening it up to the ceiling. It's important to drop the shoulders here, so you might lift them up and roll them down your back. Yeah. I like to keep my arms really long, but then pull them, slide them down the straps so the shoulders drop down the back. Now even this can be work. Even this sitting at 90 degrees, sitting in this triangle position can be a lot of work. So if this is where your body is already feeling lots of effort, either like stretch through the backs of the legs or lengthening up the spine, then just play here. Play with it, developing a long breath and encouraging your spine to be upright and tall. And don't even attempt the bend, okay? So the forward bend, really what's important is that you lead with your chest, you lead with your heart. So many times when I see people forward bending, I see like their shoulders reaching, or perhaps their chin reaching as hard as it can towards those toes. And both the shoulders and the chin should stay soft. I imagine a big magnet, one in the big toe and one in my sternum. And as you fold forward, just feel that magnet being drawn. Every time you feel your chin want to reach, just soften it down. Walk your hands lower as you come closer and continue to lengthen your spine. So you're really not wanting to get a long, rounded back out of this deal. You want to keep it long. So your inhale, you feel length, and your exhale softens your upper body towards your toes. If you're thinking of fold in the hips, the fold is right here in this part of your body. So we're not arching and rounding the spine right now. We're really noticing that the fold comes from that hip joint, comes from the base. A couple more breaths there. Arms long, shoulders soft, chins relaxed, breathing. Nice. And then slide your hands right up that nice 90-degree position again. Good. If you drop the strap and bend into one knee, this is where you get to choose. You can put this foot right on the inside of the extended leg, or you could reach that foot over and put it on the outside of the extended leg. For some of you with lots of flexibility, you could flip that bottom leg underneath you. Now my cue for that is that this sit bone, the opposite sit bone, has to be able to ground down into the floor. So if it can't ground down, then this leg stays long. Does that make sense? Because that's better for your low back and better for your spine. Good. Once you've chosen that position, then let yourself come into a twist. So lengthen through the crown of your head, soften your shoulders, and then just begin to turn. Turn so that it feels like your belly button is going to start to face this thigh, and then wrap this hand, this opposite hand. If you've got a block and you're sitting on a block, sometimes it's nice to put your hand on something a bit taller. If you don't, what happens is that you lean and your spine isn't at 90 degrees anymore. So it's nice to have just something to put underneath that hand. And breathe. What I notice more than anything in this position is that people try and use their arm strength to bring them into a twist, so you can feel them like really pulling their arm, so that they're pulling this knee into chest, or they're reaching their arm here, and they're using this elbow on the outside of the knee as a lever to press them deeper into their twist. And how I want you to practice this is that your arms are heavy. The twist, if it's coming, it's going to come from the inside of your spine. So lengthen and then feel the belly turn. Lengthen on your inhale, feel the ribs turn. Lengthen, and perhaps you'll feel these shoulders move a little bit. Right can come forward, left can go back. Breathe. And if everything feels good, this chin can just float out the back. But notice that these arms are heavy. Yeah, they're just dropping from your shoulders. Their heaviness is grounding you. And it's not leading you into a twist. Be really careful not to twist the breath right out of your body. Breathe. Just feel it move up and down your spine, from the sit bones all the way to the crown of your head. Your chin floating as far back as it's comfortable, no strain in your neck. And then unwind. And when you unwind, you can straighten that leg up in front of you and draw the opposite knee in. I'm going to change sides so that I can still see the camera. That knee comes in. Same deal here. It steps to the inside of the leg. Perhaps it moves to the outside of the leg. If everything in your body is feeling super flexible, that foot can come in. Now, my sit bone, on this side it will touch the block. So there's a little bit more flexibility on my body on this side, but without that block underneath me, I don't think that the sit bone would ground. Nice. Same thing, block behind you, lengthen up, turn the belly towards the thigh, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling, soften the shoulders, see if that arm can just drape. Drop this back arm down so that the spine can be still nice and tall, and breathe. Notice how you can soften your body deeper into the twist. Every inhale reminds you to be taller, and every exhale helps you roll the belly a little bit deeper. Turn the ribs a little bit further. Reach the shoulders deeper, but none of that coming from this torque that you're creating in the arms. The arm's just heavy, the shoulders relaxed. It all comes from the core. That movement, you can feel it coming from the core, the spine, the rotation that's available. It's delicious. One more breath. Lengthen up through the crown of the head and release and come all the way around and untangle those legs. Okay, now we're going to actually move off of that little block and sit in boat position. In boat position, what's important is that the spine is tall again, right? So we're trying to avoid that really collapsed, hanging out spine. We want the sit bones to be attached to the ground and the spine to feel really tall. Shoulders rolled back. Nice. I let my hands kind of grab the backs of my legs and lean back. So once you're there, you can start to decide how you might want to practice Navasana boat pose. For lots of people still building stability in their body, you You might be lifting one heel at a time. I see this practiced all the time in class and everyone's doing the biggest, best version, but often I just want to tell them, put one heel just a tiny bit on the floor and notice your stability. If it is stable to lift both heels, absolutely. Wiggle your toes, hang out there. If your breath is still flowing really well, you're welcome to open your arms and just hang out in this space. What you're watching here is that there's no collapse through the chest, because a nice lifted open chest is also a long and extended low back. So you want to stay in that place. It doesn't matter if you hang on here. Sometimes the upper body strength is required to hold the lower body with support for a while. Breathe. Nice. And exhale and release. So there's 3 movements. Forward fold, twist, and boat that you can play with when you're on the floor. They each take a little bit of energy because that tall spine that we're cultivating, that's a tough sell. It's a tough thing to find. So know that you're working really important things when you work that tall spine.